I'm just going to give you a brief introduction to Supermums for those of you who don't know. We're going to be meeting Catalina and chatting to her more in a bit, but just to give you an overview, the Supermum story so far. So we've got 4 different courses in a couple of time zones at the moment. So we've got a course in Europe that runs out of London time zone, and we've got courses in the US as well. And hopefully at the end of this year and next year, we'll be launching in Australia as well. So wherever we are, hopefully we've got a course that you could join. We've trained over 200 Supermums now. So we're really excited to be growing really, really quickly with all our different courses. To get started, if you're new to Salesforce, we've got our administrator course and also our marketing cloud course. If you've got a background in marketing, go and take a look at that as well. We've also got, for people building their career in Salesforce, our consultancy course and platform developer. So today we're going to be talking a little bit more in more detail about our admin and consultancy courses. We've got some great companies who are supporting what we're doing along with Salesforce themselves. We've got lots of Salesforce customers, partners, and software partners that support what we're doing. So we're really grateful to them. And we will be finding out some more about how we work with them later. Right now, we're going to have a chat with Catalina. Thanks for joining us today, Catalina.
Thank you.
Do you want to just give us a really brief overview of yourself and what you're doing and where you are right now?
Well, I'm Catalina. Now I'm working as a project manager and a Salesforce consultant for a fintech company called Ibri. I used to be a Spanish teacher for a long time, for almost 15 years. And then I started my career in Salesforce in 2018. I started taking the Supermoms course, and now I'm taking the consultancy course, and now I'm working in 2 projects. One of them is Salesforce and the other one is just project manager for technology department.
Perfect. So you're really a good example of someone who's come to kind of no real Salesforce experience at all, doing something completely different all the way through to now being in that kind of consultancy role, which is really, really interesting. So kind of what brought you to Salesforce? So you were doing teaching and then thought, I know I'm going to do Salesforce. What was that journey like? What made you think that would be a good career option for you?
At the beginning, I was not very convinced because I didn't know anything about Salesforce. So when I saw the ad about the Supermoms course, I was very excited because it was non-profit organizations, but Salesforce, I didn't know anything about it. So then it took me like 1 year to realize what Salesforce was, you know, like to make the decision, to make my mind, okay, let's research what this is. And then it was very exciting because I wanted a change in my career. I was very happy with teaching, but it was a moment of my life when I wanted like another type of career, like a better salary maybe, and something like I could work from home and I could, like a challenge. And then when I found this course on Facebook, it was a group on Facebook, and then I found this course and I started researching and I decided to start the Supermom admin course. And it was very challenging because I had no IT background. I didn't have any idea what Salesforce was. And then I started this course and it was very, very exciting. And it really changed my professional life.
Oh, brilliant. Well, that's exactly what we like to hear. So it's good to chat through a little bit more about that journey and kind of some of the exciting things about it, some of the things you found more challenging, and what your kind of hopes are for the future as well. So starting out with the admin course, was there anything in particular about the admin course that you really liked and found really helpful?
It was really, really nice because of the structure of the course. It was very flexible in the sense you could do things in your own pace. The teacher, my teacher was amazing. It was Martin. It was very, very clear, very structured. But it's good because you have this assignment, you have these homeworks, and then it makes you accountable for your learning. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna do this whenever. No, it's like, it makes you, you know, do your things. And the more you learn, and then when you're able to do the homeworks and learn that it's not that difficult, and it's something that you could do it. And that was very amazing. It was challenging because you have to spend a lot of time since it's something new. You have to really sit and learn everything. I was lucky because that moment of my life, I had the time to do it. So I was like full time on the course. And sometimes I had like the question, like, is it promising too much? Like I said, is Heather promising like, oh my God, this is amazing, but is it really? So then, but it was so, like when you finish the course and then you have this, the practical experience part, which is super, super nice. Then you learn the practical things. It like makes your confidence bigger. Like you said, okay, I can do it in a real case. I can work and I can do that. And then you find the job. It's real.
Yeah, oh, that's great. I'm so glad you had that experience. And just to mention to anyone who doesn't know, on our administrator course, there's a couple of really unique things about it. Mentorship, so you get to chat to someone who's experienced in the Salesforce ecosystem who can help you out with things like your homework, but also this work experience element that is usually with a not-for-profit, and we're really fortunate to be expanding the number of consultancy organizations who are helping us deliver that work experience element of the course all over the world. And it really is a way to put your learning into practice and build that confidence. And I know a lot of our supermums, I've done that. I did the course myself, and I found that really a game changer, that course, when you learn to put the theory into practice and learn to figure things out for yourself as well. So, okay, well, I've learned the theory, now I have to actually put it in real life. Yeah, that's a really important bit of our course. So you did your administrator course and got your certification. I'm assuming passed the exam. How did you take the exam, by the way? What was that like?
Oh, it was very challenging. It was like studying all the time, but it was, the course was really helpful, and then the practical experience, it was even more helpful, because then once you have this the theory and then you practice and you have everything in front of you, then it's much easier. And then also we had these study groups also in the Supermoms program. It was very useful. We studied with Vicky and with the study groups, and it gives you the confidence to go for it. And then I got my certificate in the first try, and it was very exciting.
Yeah, I left mine probably a little bit longer than I should have, because I was quite nervous of doing an exam, and because it had been a long time since I'd done one. But it is worthwhile, and those exam study sessions are really helpful, because we recover some of the topics, but also look at how to actually pass the exam and a bit of exam technique and understanding what to expect. So I think that's part of it that really helps you as well. So great, well done on getting that certification. So you were kind of teaching and then focusing on studying full-time, and now you're in a job. So how did you find that process of transitioning into like a completely new job in a new sector? And
very scary, because also in Spain, it happens in the area where I live, there are not many people with certifications like Salesforce. So after I finished after I got my certificate, I got a job right away. It was an admin job, full-time, and it was very scary, because you were like, oh my God, am I going to be able to do that? And it was very nice. It was very smooth, this transition, starting doing, I had a full-time admin job, and then I changed my job, and I started working in a bigger company as a project manager and a Salesforce consultant. And this was even more scary, because it was a really big company, and I'm working in 2 departments. But all the skills that I've learned, I was going to tell you, the consultancy skills course helped me a lot with all this agile project management, change management courses. All these gave me all the skills to be able to fit in a company, in a job where I didn't have the practical experience. I didn't have the background, but I started doing it, and it gave me this confidence to do this job.
Oh, brilliant. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the consultancy course. So on your kind of supermom's journey, you've done your admin course, you've learned the technical skills, understand Salesforce, great. And then, Heather designed this consultancy skills course, which is relatively new, to teach lots of other skills around it. So you mentioned there things like project management, particularly agile, which is used a lot in the tech industry. I know some things that covered around requirements gathering and how to talk to users and people about what they need, how to present demonstrations of a product. So it really builds on that admin experience and helps you move forward. Kind of, why did you decide to go for the consultancy course? What made you think, yes, that's the next step that I need to take?
Well, first of all, because I love to follow everything that Heather is doing. Like, she knows So I'm like, if she's taking this, because I'm sure it's very useful. I love the way like she focuses everything, how she empowers women to do, like say, you can do it.
Yeah.
And then of course, when I started working in this new job, I saw that I needed these business analysis, these consultancy skills, all these project management skills. I need them.
Yeah.
I need them in my new job.
Language as well, the kind of the business language side of things, if that's relatively new to you. If you came from teaching and are moving into business, kind of that.
Exactly. So I could transfer these skills, like teaching skills, especially because when you're a project manager, you need to guide people, you need to make people accountable for the things. So that I have that skills. Like I could just come here and tell them, okay, you have to do this and that. And I was very organized, and but I needed also, like you said, the terminology and the way of working real projects, like the way you elicitate the requirements from the stakeholders, and how to make the meetings, how to communicate. And that was very useful for the course. If we want, we can start talking about that. The way the assessments in the course was like the best thing for me.
Yeah. Because
you get all the theory, and everything is very logical, but you get a lot of information, but then you have to present them. And it was like the best opportunity for me, because I'm a teacher. I'm used to present things. I'm used to, have like 30 people audiences, 100 people audiences. I'm not ashamed of talking in public, but to present really, like to present to a client, how's your way of working, how agile management, what agile project management means, the change management process. And to explain that and to make a video and a demo, it was very challenging. Yeah. But it was like the thing that made me learn the most. And
make you excel in the real world. Yeah. Exactly. And you get those, and you can get feedback on those, can't you? So when you submit them, then someone takes a look at them for you and gives you some feedback. Did you find that process helpful?
Yes, it was very helpful, because Heather taught me how to take advantage of my advantages, and how to she guided me how to sell myself, how to present myself, because sometimes you lack this confidence, you have this imposter syndrome, like, oh my God, what I'm doing here. But this feedback from Heather, like how I did in my demos, what do I have to improve, what should I do better, or what I'm doing very well, that she liked it. It was very useful.
Oh, good. Then let's talk a little bit about the structure of the course, because you've mentioned a few things there. So assessments is part of it. Obviously, you've got to learn the things beforehand, and it's in kind of short video content, right? How did you find kind of going through the learning material?
The learning material was very, very organized. Like it goes step by step. And then you take all these videos, the learning, then material, and then you have a real life case. It's not a real, it's an imaginary case. And then you have to apply all this knowledge in a case. Then you have these homeworks, you have this part, and then you have to do a video, a demo regarding that topic.
So the recordings you're kind of watching by yourself in your own time, at your own pace, when you're ready to do those. But then there are weekly calls with Heather, aren't there? So how do you find those? Because they're structured a little differently to some of our other courses. They're a bit more open for you to bring questions, aren't they? How do you find those weekly sessions?
Exactly. It was very useful, because it's not like she would explain again all the topics. It's like everyone learned in their own pace, in their own time. And then we bring questions, and it was very useful because there were other people that were working in other projects, and they have more experience than me, for example. So they bring, and they have more very useful questions that you never thought about. But when you hear the questions and then you hear the answers, then everything comes together, and it was very useful.
So I think there's a range of people who have moved straight off our admin course, who may just still be training and not in a job yet, and other people who are working on real Salesforce projects, right? So you can hear people's experiences of things that are happening. Yeah. And I guess especially when you're in a new role, did you find those quite kind of supportive as well? Just have somewhere to go to ask the question if you're kind of in a new job.
or at least just tell them, oh, I'm living this and this and this, and people do tell you, yeah, that's normal, or yeah, oh my God, or whatever. No, it was like a therapy to hear from everyone the cases, and you learn.
Yeah, and that's a big part of what we want to do, especially with the consultancy course, is provide that support. It's like the next step from the admin course. So you go into your first role, and then it's about learning some more business skills, but also providing some continued support. Because especially if you have come from, you know, quite a different background or a different world of work, it can be quite a challenge to move into something else, especially because a lot of our mums do go into smaller organizations where you might be the only administrator. So there really isn't anyone else to ask in your team. Are you a solo admin, or have you got other people in your organization who know what they're doing with Salesforce?
In my organization, everyone is Salesforce developer. There is no admin. So I'm the only admin and consultant. And so they're all technical, very technical. All of them are developers.
That's an important point, because it's a different skill set, isn't it? So if you know, there are technical people who really like and want to learn the code and go down the technical route, but there's this other skill set which is more that involves that communication, and as you say, bringing in your transferable skills with regards to teaching, talking to people who are using it, so the developers can do what they need to do on the technical side, and you're figuring out exactly what that is, I guess.
Exactly.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think it's been really nice to talk about your teaching experience, because we do have quite a few people coming from backgrounds like that. I know we've had a few teachers come through the program, and I think there are a lot of transferable skills there, especially for an admin role, like you were saying, the presenting and the teaching element and motivating people. They're really nice transferable skills to bring across. So what's next for you then? So you're a project manager and Salesforce consultant at the moment. What are your kind of career plans, and are you going to take any more certifications? Or
I just took my Salesforce Sales Fab consultant certificate, so I have these 2 certificates now, and well, I just need to now focus a little bit more in my actual role, because there's a lot of things that I need to learn. Because as I told you, I am working in 2 departments. One of them is the technology department. I'm working with the incident management process and other kind of things that are Salesforce related. And then I work with the finance squad for the Salesforce team. So my next step is I need to keep learning about all the processes in my company, and I would love to take the Salesforce, the Service Cloud certificate, and maybe the app builder, because since I work with all these developers, I would like maybe not to be a developer, but to understand them more, understand a little bit more about what they are talking about.
I think those certs stand really well on their own. So we often encourage mums to do App Builder as a second cert, because it's a lot of admin. It's a lot of the admin material plus a bit. So it's quite a good next step to take. And then even the Platform Developer 1 cert, it's that thing about understanding a bit. You don't have to know code, but at least you understand what it does, so you can speak to like developers, which is really handy. But yeah, doing your Sales and Service Cloud certificates, that is part of that is covered in the Salesforce consultant course, right? You start to look at those, and we put you on the track to go off, and hopefully, I know that is what Heather hopes, most of people on the course will go off and do those consultancy certifications. So really well done for getting the first one of those under your belt, and best of luck with the next one. I guess just to finish up, what have you got, a piece of advice or a top tip that you would give to someone who's thinking about kind of either getting into Salesforce or taking the next step with something like the consultancy course? What would you say to them?
My advice is that this is a very good value course. It's something that was one of the best decisions in my professional life, because it's an investment in you. It's an investment of someone who has such a big experience. It's a group of people so experienced. Then you get to learn how to start a new career from the best teachers. And also support all the time, empowerment, and they give you the confidence to do it. So I recommend this course to anyone who would like to start a career in Salesforce, because it's the best first step to start in this career. The lessons are very valuable. The information is very well transmitted. The courses are very well structured. And then you have this support, like constant support, that anything you need, you can ask. And that's my advice to start.
Oh, great. Well, thank you so much for that. And thanks for being part of our Supermum community. And good luck with the next steps in your career.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.